Well, good morning, everybody, from Mercer County Park in West Windsor Township, New Jersey. This is the 2024 Minor League Cricket Championship presented by Yash Technologies. We have this first of two matches on this cloudy Saturday as the New Jersey Somerset Cavaliers and Manhattan Yorkers tangle in this second week matchup. And we are already underway as the New Jersey Somerset Cavaliers have been sent into bat by the Manhattan Yorkers, and Ruchir Joshi in his first over had very much an adventure, giving up 7 wides and only 2 runs off the bat of the openers, who are Kenar Lewis and Chandrapal Hemraj. Arya Garg is now into the attack from the Edinburgh Road end. The Yorkers coming off of a loss yesterday right here to the Philadelphians. And they had a pretty good start and looked like they had the Philadelphians pinned back after 2 overs. After 3 overs, the Philadelphians were 11 for 3. And they came back to win, as this is Hemraj, who defends this one to the offside. There is no run. The Yorkers coming in with a record of 1-2. The Cavaliers 2-1. Both teams trying to keep pace with the Philadelphians, who, thanks to that victory yesterday, are 3-1, and they will play the second half of the doubleheader, weather permitting, a little bit later on today. Good ball by Arya Garg. Garg 1 for 18 yesterday against the Philadelphians. Bhaskar Yadram, the hero, 67 not out off of 53 balls. Really, when the Philadelphians looked in all sorts of strife. This one is hit in the air deep. Going back on it is the fielder. He is not going to get it. It has gone all the way for the first maximum of the innings off the bat of Chandrapal Hemraj. And they've gone to 15 without loss. Right down the middle and dispatched straight down towards the sight screen. So Hemraj, who's had a pretty solid season. He's always been a consistent opener for this Cavalier squad. The Cavs coming off their last victory, their last game also against the Philadelphians on Monday, as they won, chasing down a target of 146. Defended to the offside. The one is played in the third man region. They'll scamper through for a run, and that'll bring on Kenar Lewis, who was the hero in that victory on Saturday, or on Monday, beg your pardon. Got 53 off of 36 and had a very good partnership with Syed Abdullah, 81 runs, which got them over the line. Lewis stands in from the right side, a veteran of this Cavaliers side. Turned around to the onside. Good diving stop to prevent any further damage. And they take a run, and that ends the over. They get 8 off the over at the end of 2. The New Jersey Somerset Cavaliers 17 without loss.
Even the best in the business needs a strategic partner to help them win. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
So third over about to get underway. We mentioned Lewis 53 off of 36, including 6 sixes, 3 off of 4 balls. in that victory over the Philadelphians on Monday. Ruchir Joshi will continue from the dog park end. One of 3 inclusions for the Yorkers in this match, alongside Yash Kangura and Nimish Baku. And he swings. That's a better ball from Joshi, who recovered after giving up 7 wide balls to begin the ball game. The 3 outs for the Yorkers, Inchan Sharma, Dhruv Pawar, and the captain Manuj Acharya. Rajbhav Sar, who had a fantastic game in defeat yesterday, has taken over the captaincy. Just 1 out for the Cavaliers. Another one, except this time it's a little bit closer to the tram lines and has been given as another wide. 8 wides now surrendered by Joshi. Only 10 off the bat. A lot of people, we'll tell you really quickly, it's Rishi Raj Shimpi, who's in for Syed Zohaib Kazmi. Another swing and no contact, this time a little bit closer to the stumps. Another good ball. Umpires for today's match, Mihir Patel and Deepak Kadi. 2 veteran umpires and very familiar on this East Coast circuit. Check that. Now it is. Yep. Cut away by Kenar Lewis. They'll take a run. Ball is stopped out near the boundary. 3 balls still to come. What's that? Sorry, it's Colin Edwards and alongside Deepak Kadi. Colin Edwards as well as a veteran umpire. And what I love with him, and we mentioned Mihir Patel, 2 of the two guys who have a very, very good sense of humor. Big swing. They thought they might have caught an edge on that, but Joshi with a good comeback again after perhaps a little bit of the rush showing. Check his numbers so far this season. Three wickets so far for Joshi, who has played all over the place. Dab down to the offside. No run. 1 ball to come. Joshi playing with the East Bay Blazers in 2021 and 2022. 5 wickets and 7 wickets in those 2 seasons. Came over to the Yorkers, or he also played for the Golden State Grizzlies as well before coming over to the Yorkers last season. Taking 9 wickets in 4 innings. And this one is hit down the ground, over the bowler's head, over everybody's head, and right to our left for a massive 6. Off the bat of Chandrapal Hemraj, and that ends the 3rd over with a flourish. As we see it again, looking towards off stump and just driving it down the ground. And just to the left of yours truly. 3 overs complete halfway through the power play. The Cavaliers 25 without loss. Arya Garg will continue from the Edinburgh Road end. We should mention the conditions. We started to. It is an overcast day and there is the threat of rain about. Lewis, that one hit him on the pad and skips behind, and I don't quite think he realized how far behind it had gotten until after it had, and no signal given by umpire Colin Edwards. It looked like it did hit the bat. And it skipped by the wicketkeeper. You see umpire Colin Edwards. So another run to Kenara Lewis. That takes him on the 4. The Cavaliers, the defending Atlantic Conference champions from a season ago. That one wrapped him on the pads, and that time he's gone. First wicket of the game, and it goes to Arya Garg, trapping Chandrapal Hemraj, LBW. Big wicket inside the power play, and he's able to remove one of the openers, and the Cavaliers now 26 for 1. Well, Garg, one of the more impressive performers of this young season. Pitching outside, hitting in line. And that definitely would have gone on through to the stumps. And up goes the finger from Colin Edwards. And a celebration from Arya Garg. And there goes the first wicket. They're 26 for 1. Well, he is one of their U21 players. The other one is Pranav Chetapaliyam, who's in the lineup. And it's one of the things about this minor league cricket setup. It's amazing how really the showcase of a lot of these younger players. We get to see a lot of the young talent that's playing cricket here in the U.S., especially here on the East Coast. New Jersey and New York have a pretty, let's say, plentiful talent system. So here is Said bin Zafar, who will come in at number 3. And Zafar came in at the end of the game on Monday, and in fact was on the other side of the ground when Gajanan Singh hit the winning runs. The first ball he sees is defended loudly out to the offside, no run. We've started to talk about the weather a couple of times. We said that not really a surprise. You win a toss, the overcast conditions, as we said, there might be rain about. The ground good but firm. Again, defended. And off the hands of Garg. A lot of heavy clouds about. I think we were looking at about a 40% chance of rain during the day. I think really the second game between the Philadelphians and the NYC Titans, I think that game is going to be the one where the weather may come into play a little bit more, with rain forecast right around the time that game is scheduled to start at 2 p.m. Eastern. Hit him on the pads, but I think that was going a little bit more down leg. One more ball to come off this fantastic over by Arya Garg, who has stemmed the tide a little bit after the Cavaliers came out with 9 in the first and then 8 in the second and the third. Garg giving up the maximum to Hemraj, and then removing him. Last ball of the over coming in. That one is turned around to the onside. Zafar will keep the strike as he gets off the mark. But a great over by Arya Garg, who gets the wicket of Chandrapal Hemraj and gives up just 2 runs. At the end of 4, Having been sent in the bat, the New Jersey Somerset Cavaliers are 27 for 1.
It's an impossible shot.
Sometimes creativity and innovation are all it takes to achieve the impossible. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
Yash Kangura, the former Philadelphian, will come into the attack for the first time. He'll be bowling from our end of the ground, the dog park end. As we mentioned, the Cavaliers out to a good start so far, 27 for 1. On a ground, the story so far has been this ground here at Mercer County Park. Last year, it was a very difficult ground to bat off of, and the overall average first innings last year at the beginning of this season was 96 for the first innings and 88 for the second innings. And so far, with all this play, this ball is defended to the offside, no run. It's all of a sudden gone up to 104. And in fact, with the exception of the NYC Titans putting up just 98 in their loss to the New Jersey Stallions on Monday afternoon, every first innings has set a triple-digit target. Full toss, dispatched to the onside, and it will two-hop over the rope for 4. And not a good delivery from Kangura, and Zafar rightly dispatches it for his first boundary. That was would have been a good curveball in baseball, but seen all the way by Zafar. And this is a New Jersey Somerset Cavaliers team that a lot of people, especially through their play in the first couple of games, and this one is cut away to the offside, and that one's going to get very close to the boundary and just lands in front of it for another 4. So back-to-back boundaries for Zafar, and he goes on to 9. Again, going away, 5th stump territory, and cut away, just going with the grain by Zafar. These two teams, we should mention, did play already this season. We'll get to that result in a moment. Kangura comes back closer to the wicket, and Zafar has to defend, so a good comeback there. These two teams played back on August 30th, so 2 weeks ago. Was that last week? No, it was last Friday. It was the first game of the season. Time is an abstract concept. Manhattan putting up a score of 119 for 7 and hanging on to defeat the Yorkers by 10 runs. Nurmith Shashidar, 41 not out. And 2 wickets each for Najaf Shah, Junaid Nadir, and Haroon. There's a loud appeal, but the umpire is unmoved. Pacotti saying no, and heads and hands here. A lot of incredulity. Let's see. Oh, was looking for a touch. Shashidar thought there was a touch, thought there was a nick. So too did Kangura. But the most important person, who is the man in orange, didn't hear anything. Well, it's awfully difficult to tell with the naked eye here, even with the fantastic replay from our production crew. 1 ball still to come. Thought they had Zafar there. But he turns around and sends this one out to the nether regions of Mercer County and ends with a 3rd boundary, does Syed Zafir. 14 runs off the over, all off of that man's bat. And he drives that one as sweetly and deeply as you can. Deep over the boundary for a massive 6. And that ends the over, in which they give up 14 runs. At the end of 5, the New Jersey Somerset Cavaliers 41 for 1. So a good start by the New Jersey Somerset Cavaliers, even though they lost Chandrapal Hemraj. Saad bin Zafar, 15 off of 10. 2 4s and a 6. But now it's Kenara Lewis, who's been known to put up a big score to face Arya Garg. And watches that one sail by as off stump. Good ball to start things off by Garg, who is in his 3rd over of work. One thing we've noticed in the matches in this Eastern Division is that teams have gone to 7 and sometimes 8 men to bowl, which I think kind of shows that everybody is looking to kind of spread out the workload and also give teams different looks. Lewis plays this one forward and to the offside. They scamper through for a run to bring Zafar back on strike, and he's been the hot man so far. 42 for 1. We mentioned that the top 2 teams in each of the 4 divisions in minor league cricket advance to the playoffs, which begin October 2nd in Atlanta, Georgia. And we mentioned the Cavaliers 2-1, the Yorkers 1-2. That one bounced up high, and Saad trying to. So there's one high ball for the over, as signaled by umpire Colin Edwards. Here it is again, a bouncer, and just tried to get his bat on that in self-defense, but also get a little aerial with it and send that one out towards the intent side of the field. And we call it that because there are people over there intense. There's your dad joke of the hour. And this one is just nicked off, I believe, part of the bat. It's given as a wide. No, he didn't even get that. It's given as a wide and also 4 more. So 5 wides there as we take a look at it again. Just a big flail at this. We heard a sound that may have been the bat hitting the pad, but 5 more extras to the total. And 13 of the 47 runs that the Cavaliers have scored have been sundries. Not good, Bob. This one is hit high in the air. Catches the call. Catch is made. And Zafar's cameo comes to an end. Dinesh Patel swallows it. Garg has his 2nd wicket. And boy, they needed that one just inside the power play. Zafar goes 15 from 12. And New Jersey Somerset Cavaliers now 47 for 2. Good delivery from Garg to lure Zafar into a decent shot, but not good enough. Let's see. Just open the bat face up a little bit too much. And Dinesh Patel had it all the way. Good catch by him. And Garg now 2 for 16 off of 2.4. So 2 balls left in the power play, and the Cavaliers 47 for 2. And here now is Syed Abdullah. The last time he came to the crease alongside the man on the other side and Kenara Lewis, they stayed in for a good long time and had a good time as well, putting up 81 in a partnership that led to the victory over the Philadelphians on Monday. Question is whether they'll have the magic against this Yorker side, which is good bowling. 2 more balls left in this over. We started to mention the standings. The Philadelphians, of course, 3-1. The New Jersey Stallions, who I believe are idle this weekend, they're 2-0. The Cavaliers at 2-1. The Yorkers at 1-2. And this would be a very important win if the Yorkers could pick it up to stay in touch with the other 3 teams. The New England Eagles are 0-2. They're off this week. They'll be back in action next weekend up in Glenville, New York. And the NYC Titans 0-2. They'll play in the second half of our doubleheader today against the Philadelphians. This is a little bit of a delay. Looks like they're going to be working with the sight screen in a moment. One thing that in the 2 days that I've been here, where I was here, of course, last Monday, is that a lot of wind here. And these 2 matches, and we'll get to it, I think, a little bit more in depth. You're just waiting to see. While we are waiting, we'll take a quick look around the grounds and tell you what's happening today in minor league cricket. This is one of 7 games happening today. And we'll get to that in a moment because it looks like we are ready to continue. And here is Garg to Abdullah. Big swing, no contact. Garg thought he had him, and he, other than that one wide ball, has bowled pretty well as he greets Abdullah with a good ball turning away from off stump. 1 ball left in the power play. Projected score is 166 so far. And we'll tell you about what's happening, some of the other matches happening around minor league cricket today when we begin the 7th over. Last ball of this 6th over is defended by Abdullah, and it goes down the 3rd man. He'll keep the strike as they get another run. Well, Garg gives up 7 runs in this over, but he does take a big wicket of Saeed, and at the end of the power play, 6 complete, the Cavs are 48 for 2. Let's go around the grounds and see what other matches are happening on this second day of week number 2 of the regular season at Musa Stadium outside of Houston. At 11:30, it'll be the Lone Star Athletics and Houston Hurricanes. Action on the West Coast as the Silicon Valley Strikers will take on the East Bay Blazers. That game will be at Santa Clara, somewhere south of the Bay Area. And then 2 night games, one of them at Church Street Park in North Carolina as the Baltimore Royals take on the Fort Lauderdale Lions. The Lions opening their season with a loss to the hometown Royals as Raj Bhavsar comes in with a little bit of spin. And his first delivery is pulled to the onside. They'll come through for a run as Abdullah goes to 2. And then down in Grand Prairie, it'll be the St. Louis Americans and the Michigan Cricket Stars. St. Louis falling to the Dallas Exploria Giants last night in their opener. And this one is hit down the ground. It might have a play to it coming back and just getting away from Bhavsar. I think it would have been very, very difficult to get to that because he was backpedaling the entire time. They do come through for a run, but Bhavsar was trying to locate it at the last minute, and it just dropped in front. And so that'll bring up the 50. They're now 50 for 2. cut away to the offside by Abdullah. And he will come through for another run. 51 for 2. The wind whipping up here. Cut away this time by Kenar Lewis, right to the fielder. And now, of course, if you're not terribly familiar with cricket, the power play, the first 6 overs, there's a 35-yard circle around the pitch, around the wicket area. You're only allowed 2 players outside of that circle. And then outside of the power play, the rest of the match, you are allowed more players. I think it's up to 5. And Abdullah ends this with another single. 5 runs off of the over for Bhavsar. At the end of 7, they're 53 for 2. Let's take a look at the sequence around that first wicket, which was to Chandrapal Hemraj. And Garg's delivery. You see the one on the left versus the one on the right. And he was appealing. The one on the left, not a wicket, but the one on the right was given. And you see umpire Colin Edwards on the left showing where the ball was in relation to where it would have been hitting, where it made contact. As we're back to live action, Abdullah plays this one. It's Yasir Muhammad who is in for the first time. Now, of course, we have a lot of new viewers who are watching us here on the MLC Network, and the LBW rule is probably the most technical rule in cricket. And as Syed Abdullah carts this one out over the covers and gone for his first 6 of the game, and he rockets the double digits as he greets Yasir Muhammad with a massive pull to the onside over for a big, big 6er. As he wound up, got about ankle high and carted this one. As you see the covers at the ready. But that takes him on the 59 for 2. Just getting back to that LBW rule, there are 4 things that need to be present. The first is that it has to be illegal delivery. That the bowler can't overstep. As Abdullah comes back and turns Muhammad around to the onside to pick up his 11th run, 60 for 2 now. So that's the first thing. It has to be illegal delivery. The second thing is where the ball pitches. So it has to pitch, that is, bounce either in line with the batter or to the leg side. And speaking of which, that's where Abdullah goes and sends this one out to almost the same location that his last one went. I checked that was Kenar Lewis. And Kenar picks up his first 6. You know he's itching and ready to go, and that takes him on to 66 for 2. Here it is again. And Lewis got down on one knee and sent that one out to the trees. And I think that ball may be joining the nature of the foliage to our left, and it looks like they are signaling for a new one. So it'll give us a second to, again, continue with the explanation of the LBW. Again, so it depends on where it pitches. It has to pitch in line with the 3 stumps or on the leg side. So anywhere from the leg stump, that is the stump closest to the batter, and inside of that. Outside of that, outside of off stump. So if it's anywhere to inside the batter on the leg stump, it can't be given as LBW, simply because of the reaction time. The second thing is where the ball hits the pad. And it has to hit the pad first. If it hits the bat, it can't be given out as LBW. So if the ball hits the pad in line with the stumps, then that is then that is an affirmative criteria to be given as leg before wicket. And then the third thing is that if the ball had gone on to hit the stump, had gone on and not hit the batter, would it have gone on to hit the stumps? And if it would have, and all three of those are present, that is where it pitches, where it makes contact, and if it would have hit the stumps, then it will be given out as leg before wicket. And, of course, the two big things, again, is that illegal delivery, and that is, again, that the bowler doesn't overstep, and that the first thing the ball hits is the pad. If it hits the bat first and then the pad, then it's been nicked onto the pads, and that can't be given as leg before wicket. So hopefully that clears it up a little bit. I got a little confused in my own explanation there, but so Yasser Muhammad has a new onion from the box, and Kenara Lewis will stand in, and this time cuts this one defensively to the offside. Second dot ball for Muhammad. He has one to go. Oh, big appeal there. And once again, looking for LBW, but again, I think this one was going a little bit too far down leg side, and that ends the over. 8 overs complete. They get 13 off of it to the Cavaliers. They are 66-2.
Even the best in the business needs a strategic partner to help them win. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
Raj Bafsar, who is the captaincy duties, will resume from the dog park end. 1 for 29 yesterday, and Syed Abdullah stands in. Cut away. Just dropping in front of the slips cordon. And by cordon, it was a cordon of 1, and they're going to come back for 2. Good running by Syed Abdullah and Kenara Lewis. Partnership now on to 21. Dab down to the onside. Another run up coming. Good play by these two. They're being cautious, but also, as we say in cricket, expressing themselves. That is, especially in this T20 format, there's the itching to be powerful, but also be careful. And this one is taken downtown, and this one is going to end up towards Tent City. Another 6, and this one off the bat of Kenara Lewis, who hits his second. He goes to 19. 75 for 2 now. I think we might categorize that as a full toss. Didn't see if that pitched or not, but either way, read very well by Kenara Lewis, who is having himself a fantastic season. Prior to yesterday, he had 56 not out in the victory over the NYC Titans. A couple of the spectators here on this overcast Saturday morning. And this time he goes down the ground. There's a catch possible. And he just dropped it. Oh, goodness. Well, Ruchir had that one. It was a good effort to get to it. And he's looking down at his hands and saying, "Why'd you let me down, fellas?" But mark that one down as Kenara Lewis put down on 20, or 19 actually, 76 for 2. So how much will that affect? Cut away by Abdullah. No run. Here it is again. And It's tough to track this. I think he had this one all the way. It's just the execution. I think he was going backwards a little bit as well. This one driven down the ground. A good humpback line drive, as we would say in baseball. They come through for a run, and Abdullah will keep the strike as he goes to 15. 9 overs complete. The New Jersey Somerset Cavaliers are 77 for 2 as we look at this one more time. And watch. He had it, hit him right in the chest, and bounced off his hands. And that's a tough one. That's a tough one to put down. 9 complete, 77 for 2. So last ball of the first half of this innings. Brian Barish here with you. Glad to have your company here on the MLC Network. And a special hello to everybody watching us on Saturday evening back in India. Thanks to Fan Code. Hope you're enjoying this minor league cricket competition in its 4th season. As Yash Kangura comes the bowl from the Edinburgh Road end. Slapped away by Abdullah. They'll come through for another run and look for 2. And get it easily. So Abdullah goes to 17. 32 runs in this partnership. These two bat very well together, as we said. And Abdullah, when he played with the Philadelphians in 2022, they had him pegged as an opener. Strokes this one straight. Another run for Abdullah, who goes to 18. That's 80 up for the New Jersey Somerset Cavaliers. And I think he did better once they dropped him down in a bit, and that was when Milan Kumar was the captain of the Philadelphians. Top of the bat by Kennard Lewis. Thought about it. Went down about 4 steps and then changed his mind. Good ball by Kangura. 80 for 2. You see the 2 gentlemen to our left. The one definitely not from Australia. Once again, that hops up on Lewis. And I think he did just get a touch of the bat to that. That one is dabbed away by Syed Abdullah. And that gentleman standing on the left, all he is, that's Ross Taylor, an international for New Zealand and a test player. I joked because I heard his accent, and but he is one of the more recognizable names and figures in international cricket, and he is here in New Jersey as Abdullah gets a little bit of air under this one, but it will go over everybody and clear for a massive 6. 87 for 2. As this one comes down the ground, and once again, Syed Abdullah has it going on. He goes to 24. And that ends the over. Halfway point for the Cavaliers. They're 87 for 2. So Raj Bafsar will continue from the dog park end. Left-handed spinner, and Lewis went down to try and smash that one, but a good ball by Bafsar, who has given up 16 runs, still looking for his first wicket. Cut away, and he's got it. Right into the hands of Arya Garg. And Bafsar sends Lewis on his way as Lewis hit a couple of sixes, but didn't do the damage that he normally does. And he has to go for 21. 87 for 3 now. Again, he tried to cut away, but a relatively soft dismissal. And right there at point, you see Garg just hauling that one in. So Lewis, 21 off of 22. They are 87 for 3. Gajanan Singh now comes in. And he has a hat trick so far with the ball, but he is having a great season with the bat. And again, a guy who has played all 4 seasons with this New Jersey Somerset Cavaliers. First ball he sees is pulled to the onside, right into the deep. They'll come through for a single. You see some of the crowd here on Saturday. First of 2 games, as we said. Philadelphia and the NYC Titans coming up. Good ball by Bafsar. Shashidar threatening with the stumping. More spin on this one and bounced to the offside. Another run. $89 for 2. 89 for 3, beg your pardon. And this one is hit down the ground, and this one will go for 6. As Gajanan Singh ends the 11th over with a maximum. Big looping ball, Yorker length, but no problem reading the spin by Gajanan Singh. And he sends that one to our left. We provide a good target with these tents, I'll tell you what. 11 complete. The Cavaliers are 95 for 3. Preet Shah will come in to the attack for the first time. And Shah yesterday against the Philadelphians bowled just 1 over, gave up 9 runs without taking a wicket. And he is the 6th bowler for the Yorkers. As we said, these teams rolling probably about 7 deep in terms of the bowling attack. And Abdullah's first ball from him is pulled to the onside. They take a single, and that'll bring on Gajanan Singh, who has a 1 and a 6 in the 2 balls he's faced. They said the weather today, the sun, I think, is going to be a rare commodity. It's going to be like this. It's going to be cloudy. 71 degrees Fahrenheit. The high is not supposed to get out of the 70s. And as we said, we've been kind of keeping an eye on the radar. You see Preet Shah getting set to bowl the second ball with his spin. Good ball as he has to defend that one off the back foot, Gajanan Singh. Numbers on Shah, this his 16th match. Has played across all 4 seasons, including with the New Jersey Stallions. 12 wickets to his name. At a 3 for 12. As this one is hit in the air, the catch, looking for the catch, but he'll run out of room, and Gajanan Singh has his second maximum, and that brings up the 100 for the Cavaliers. They go to 102 for 3. Shah again aiming towards off stump, and guiding that one, Singh. If he gets his eye in, then he can put up a big score here. Has to defend this one, but not far enough as Shah almost went A over T to get the ball. We were actually talking with just discussing about how much more offensively minded this pitch is playing, and all 3 games so far they've played, or at least the games that I've called, they're playing on this leftmost pitch of the 3 they have set up. Full toss, and Singh had to go down on one knee and play that one on the fly. They come through for a single. 1 ball left in the 12th over, 103 for 3. And the highest score by run rate that I can think of was the Cavaliers taking on the NYC Titans and scoring 159 off of 16 overs. And with that run rate, that would have been very close to 200. We have not seen anything like that in the first couple of years at this ground. Another full toss, and this one, a mistake, is absolutely punished. And Syed Abdullah is like Trogdor the Burninator. He is destroying the countryside here. Another 6, his second. He goes to 32 off of 21. Shah gives up 14 runs in the over. As you see there once again, went for the length ball, and he hung it out there, and Abdullah got out his knife and fork and carved that one. And the Cavaliers in good shape at the end of 12. They're 109 for 3. So the Cavaliers now, going at a rate of 9.1, looking at a projected score of 182. And Yasser Muhammad will come in for his second over of work from the dog park end. And Singh has to tow this ball to the onside. And that brings on Syed Abdullah. Abdullah, we said, I think he's better right where they brought him in terms of the order, although once again they're looking for it. And they've got, have they? They have. So he has to go. Does Syed Abdullah, just as we were looking up what his highest score was, which is 59, but he will not get there. And Yasser Muhammad picks up the wicket as he edges to Shashidar, and he has to go for 32. And the Cavaliers now 110 for 4. Here it is again. Just nicked it into the gloves. And Shashidar hangs onto it. And that ends the stand by Abdullah. 32 off of 22 with 3 sixes. And so that wicket, that partnership of 23 runs alongside Gajanan Singh, and that will bring on Muhammad Usman Saeed. Saeed has just 3 runs in his one batting appearance. That was against the Philadelphians on Saturday. And he comes in with Gajanan Singh. The Cavaliers, I think, are in a good position, however. First ball from Muhammad. That was also very close to being a full toss, and he cuts that one away to the offside. Stopped it long off. And so he is off the mark on his first ball. Triple popsicle sticks there for the Cavs. 111 for 4. And now it's Gajanan Singh. And I think where Gajanan Singh goes is where this innings is going to go for the Cavaliers. And he drives this one just off the fingernails of Yasser Muhammad, who looks down and makes sure he still has 5 on the one hand. Another single. So, top 2 teams in each of the 4 divisions will advance to the finals weekend. Good ball by Muhammad, and Saeed coming forward and just missing the face of the bat. The Cavaliers definitely in the conversation. Philadelphians playing well. The Stallions 2-0. Down the ground, right back to Yasser Muhammad, who turned around just in case Gajanan Singh was thinking about going. Good over from him. 3 runs given off it and the wicket of Syed Abdullah. At the end of 13, having been sent in the bat, the New Jersey Somerset Cavaliers won 12 for 4. Fourteenth over about to get underway here at Mercer County Park. We are in West Windsor Township, New Jersey, just near Princeton in central New Jersey. We're about an hour or so from downtown Philadelphia, in case you need a geographical reference. As Bachu comes in, one of 3 inclusions by the Manhattan Yorkers into this lineup. And we've seen all 3 of the inclusions bowl. Yash Kangura and Ruchir Joshi being the other 2. Inchin Sharma, Manoj Acharya, and Dhruv Pawar. 3 key bowlers are out. So, and the result, at least for the other 2, haven't been terribly sparkling, as Kangura has been hit for 24 off of his 2 overs. Joshi hit for 17, and he's put down a catch. Play to the offside, and Gajanan Singh will take his 17th run. Bachu is the 7th bowler for the Yorkers. Took 2 wickets in his opening match, so he knows how to get them. That was in that opener against the same Cavaliers, and Saeed cuts it away, but right to the fielder at backwards point. As you see a hawk with a literal bird's eye view of this match. Cut away by Saeed, but again, right in that sort of slips area, slip gully region. Reminds me of the DC Hawks, who are now the Baltimore Royals, as Saeed slaps this one down the ground, and they will take a single off of it to end the inning. So Baku does well. He gets 2 off, gives up just 2 off the over. 14 complete. The Cavaliers 114 for 4. First ball of the 15th over, and was played all the way down to the fine leg boundary. They got 2. Singh was thinking about a 3rd. And Yasser Muhammad, who is continuing from the dog park end, tried to get up high on Saeed, and Saeed went down and pretty much had to play that off his shoulders. They get 2 more, and he goes to 4. 18 now given up by Yasser Muhammad, as this one is dabbed away towards third man. Another run comes through, and Gajanan Singh will come up. Connects down the ground. It's time to mid-off, or long-off. And to see where he is compared to the rope. Another run. 118 for 4. Yorkers. See when their next game is after this. It is tomorrow against the NYC Titans. As again, Saeed picks up another, or at least gets his bat on it, but right to a fielder, no run. They'll play the NYC Titans in one of 2 games. As we take a look again, that's Ross Taylor, the New Zealand international, there on the right, taking in today's game. Actually had heard from one of the folks I called the World Cup for White Line Wireless that he was going to be over here checking out the action. Big swing that gets by everybody. I think these are going to be byes. And that one will go all the way down to the boundary. It will be stopped right before the rope. They'll get 2. And we'll keep an eye. These are, in fact, wides. Umpire Deepak Kadi. And so 3 wides along the ground. And that will pick up 1 more run. So Muhammad comes in. 8 runs given up off the over. 15 down, the New Jersey Somerset Cavaliers. 122 for 4 with 5 to play. Well, that's something you don't see at every park in America. Not only a cricket ground, but also nets. I believe that might be one of the Philadelphians getting set for the afternoon. That actually might be Ryan Scott. I'm not 100% sure. But they, of course, playing in the second game of our doubleheader against the NYC Titans. Baku continues from the Edinburgh Road end against Saeed. And a dot ball to start things off. He gave up just 2 runs in his first over, bowling very well. But this time one is sent down the ground. And did he make that catch? He sure did. So thus ends Saeed, and what a fantastic catch. Lost sight of it to start, but came forward and made a very, very comfortable catch in the end. Baku has his first wicket. And that's the 5th to go down for the Cavaliers. They are now 122 for 5. Here it is again. Got good wood on it, but not enough. And once again, it's Deep Patel. And he had to come in. He started back on it, but came forward and made the catch down on his knees. That is his second catch, and they have both been pretty impressive. And that ends Mohammad Usman Saeed's batting afternoon. Technically, it's still the morning. He goes for 6 off of 13. 122 for 5. And there is Rishi Shimpi, beg your pardon. Shimpi won the only inclusion by the New Jersey Somerset Cavaliers, who came in for Saeed Zohaib Kazmi. And Shimpi making his minor league cricket debut. And went to go across. I think that may have hit him in the arm. And he comes through, and he gets his first run off of the first ball. Here it is again. Wow, look at the spin on that. Just caught the glove, I think. But my goodness, what spin on that ball there by Baku. .123 for 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is aesthetically pleasing. I love it. Gajanan Singh slaps this to the offside. No run. So we mentioned the Cavaliers back here tomorrow against the NYC Titans. The Cavaliers, they are not playing tomorrow. They'll play the Titans next week. Another good ball by Baku. 1 ball to go. He is 1 for 3 after 11 balls. We'll tell you more about the action next week. A little bit later. Well, we'll tell you now, if you're up in the capital region in upstate New York, in the Albany area, Glenville, New York, near Schenectady, we'll have a couple of matches coming up next weekend, and then the weekend of the 28th and 29th as the regular season comes to a conclusion. Final ball of the over. Guided on to the onside by Gajanan Singh, who will keep the strike. He goes on to 19. Good. Another good over by Maku. 2 overs, 1 for 4. 16 down. Here are the Cavaliers, who were sent in the bat, are 124 for 5. Four overs to go. And the Manhattan Yorkers trying to keep this down to a manageable run chase as Gajanan Singh stands in against Yasser Muhammad and takes Yasser Muhammad downtown and says, let's take a stroll through the forest. And he hits another 6. So third maximum of the innings for Gajanan Singh. Top edge, but enough power to where that wasn't an issue. He now has 25 off of 16, and that's what I said earlier, that how his innings goes. This one is sent deep and just to the left, and the fielder could only turn and watch that one sail over, and it's back-to-back jacks for Gajanan Singh. Again, a Yorker length toss, and Singh says, I'm going to not worry about the bounce. And sends this one once again over the rope. Tries to go again. This time it's a punch shot down the ground. He'll get 1. And Singh goes to 32 off of 18. Was high so far. 57 is his season high. Big appeal, big thud, but again, that may have gone down leg side. The umpire says no, and then puts up 2 fingers because he is reciting Little Bunny Foo Foo hopping through the forest. No, it means there's 2 balls left. Another one. This one goes through. And I think, well, he's walking, is Shimpy, and he is gone. And I believe he's been bowled. Just didn't see the wickets, the stumps fly, but that has in fact happened. So a second wicket has been picked up by Yasser Muhammad. 137 for 6. As Rishi Shimpy was stumped by Shashidar. Here it is once again. Good ball, and was aiming for it. And good job. Watch, well, first of all, Shashidar, that is a heck of a play. And then falling backwards, got the ball into his left hand, and as he was falling down, brushed the wickets off. A big appeal for the leg side umpire, and he gets the wicket. So Shashidar with an amazing defensive play to dismiss Rishi Shimpy for 1. And they're 137 for 6 with 1 ball left in the 17th over. And Junaid Nadir coming to the strike. And Nadir, you'll see him a lot with the ball. And the first one he sees skips and hops over the bat. Muhammad comes back after giving up 2 straight sixes to Gajanan Singh. He takes the wicket of Shimpy, and at the end of 17 with 18 balls to go, the Cavaliers 137 for 6. Baku will come back in. We'll continue from the Edinburgh Road end. This is the 8th time, by the way, that these two teams have played each other in their 4 years history. Big appeal there, but no dice, says umpire Colin Edwards. That hopped up on Gajanan Singh, something fierce. Big swing and good bowling by Baku, who has been the pick of the bowler so far. Here is that last delivery. Ooh. The only thing I can think of is that was going down leg. Or if it would have been too wide in terms of the impact as Singh comes back and a soft lifter to the offside. And he's now on 33. The interesting thing about this matchup is the Yorkers have won 4 of the previous 7 contests between the two sides. The Yorkers won the first 3, 2 in 2021 and the first game in 2022. And the Cavaliers came back and have won the next 3. And so they were even Steven heading into this season when the Yorkers won on opening day. As Baku pulls out of his warm-up. Nadir with 2 wickets. Big swing. No contact. What a great job he's doing, Nimish Baku. Nadir took 3 wickets in the game last year between the two teams. The first of 2. Another good ball. Another good ball. Love watching him. Last ball of the over. The run rate has really slowed down as it's under 8 now. Until that happens. That one is sent long and deep and gone for 6. Junaid Nadir says, I can do things with the spin, but I can also wield the willow too. And he ends the over with a big 6. Comes down the ground. It almost looked like he was not in control of the swing, but he got enough of it, and it looked very good off the bat. So 7 off the over. That Rex Baku's almost sterling 2 innings, 2 overs. With 2 to go, the Cavaliers 144 for 6.
It's an impossible shot.
Sometimes creativity and innovation are all it takes to achieve the impossible. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
Ruchir Joshi, who has given up 17 runs earlier in this innings, is back into the attack. And so the Cavaliers, but they were looking at projected score of 180, 190. That's been brought back down to earth. They're now looking at about 160. And really, the key is overs 13 through 16 between Muhammad and Baku. 3-2-8-2. And 13 off the Muhammad over, Yasser Muhammad over in the 17th. 7 off of Baku in the 18th. And a good, solid shot for 4 off the bat of Gajanan Singh. That was absolutely laced. And that's the sort of one that you get the warm and fuzzies, even sitting so close to it and watching it. As ball was tailing away from him, and he turned it around to the onside and slapped that one through for another 4. $148 for 6. And Singh now on to 37. He's been arguably their best player, I think, so far this season. Probably Kennar Lewis as well. And this one is hit, and it's hit a little bit further. The fielder turns and watches this one sail over the tent. And Gajanan Singh trying very hard to get to another 50. He had one earlier, an unbeaten 57 against the NYC Titans, and he goes straight down the ground and over our heads. And that brings up 150 for the Cavs. That one will be given as a no ball and a free hit upcoming as Gajanan Singh. So now the projected score, here's what the mathematics has done. It's only taken up to 166. Listen, it's the computer. It's the mathematics. They're going at 8.3 and over, and it's as we mentioned, it's all in Gajanan Singh because and we saw it yesterday with Bhaskar Yadram and the Philadelphians. If you have one experienced bat, all you have to do on the other side is just stay alive and keep the scoreboard turning. This is a free hit, and this is a great delivery by Joshi as he prevents any more damage by Gajanan Singh. My goodness. This was a huge, huge ball, probably one of the most important of this innings. And he got it just enough to seam inside the bat of Gajanan Singh, whose eyes had to be lit up something fierce. 2 balls left in this 19th over. And this one is driven along the ground. They'll come through for another single. Ball skeeters across. And he is now on 44, and unless Nadir hangs on to the strike at the end of this over, Singh will be trying for yet another half century. Nadir will face the final ball of the 19th over. Big swing, and it bounced up into his chest. This is going to end up being a bye, I believe. A leg bye, even though it bounces off that, even though it hit him square in the chest. Cricket's a funny old game, isn't it? Well, let's see. 10, 11, 12, 13 runs off the over. Nadir will keep the strike as we head into the 20th and final over of regulation. The Cavaliers 157 for 6. So we mentioned Gajanan Singh, and it's one of the things that you see a fair bit as Garg will come in to bowl his final over and the final over of the innings. as Junaid Nadir keeps the strike and just played it away to the offside, or just swung at it for the offside, as Shashidar wanted another wicket but didn't get it. 5 balls to go. Singh, of course, playing T20 internationals with the USA rather. Originally from Berbice, from Cumberland in Guyana. Driven down the ground, and he's going to get the strike. Or, yep, they thought initially about a second. So Nadir goes to 7, and they almost got one from an overthrow, and Nadir was thinking about it before Singh sent them back. They were fumbling with the ball out there, and finally Nadir came back. So here's Gajanan Singh. Played with Guyana, played with the Guyana Amazon Warriors of the Caribbean Premier League back in 2017. As we said, he's been a very important and very potent member of this Cavalier side. He popped them up. I don't think this one has the distance. They're coming in. It will drop in. They will get one and come back for a second. He got a top edge, but it was down the ground into an area of the field where there wasn't anybody within maybe about 20 meters. And he gets 2 more to take him on the 46. This would be the 6th half century on this ground if he can do it, and his second. That one is deflected behind off the swing. 47, but now the strike goes to Junaid Nadir with 2 balls remaining in the New Jersey Somerset Cavaliers innings. And a reminder, they were put into bat in these overcast conditions where rain is in the area, but I don't think we'll probably see the impact of that until a little bit later on. Nadir smacks it down the ground. They come through for another single, and so Gajanan Singh will get one last chance for a half century. He is on 47, and this will be the final ball of the innings. 162 for 6. And the Yorkers are going to have a bit of a mountain to climb against this Cavaliers attack. Final ball of the innings. Hit deep. Does it have enough? It sure does. There is the half century for Gajanan Singh. It's an unbeaten 53. And the New Jersey Somerset Cavaliers end their 20 overs at 168 for 6. Gajanan Singh, the U.S. international, 53 off of 30 balls, a strike rate of 176 and change. And another big innings for him has his team in a very good position at the break. And one of the things that you watch T20, as you know, you see that the big thing when you have a hitter like that is to try and break up partnerships. But if you have one player like they had in Gajanan Singh, all you have to do on the other side is just basically keep things moving, keep the line moving, and a great job by Junaid Nadir to do exactly that as Singh goes into the dugout and gets ready to try and defend this target. As we take a look at the scorecard here for the New Jersey Somerset Cavaliers, there is Gajanan Singh, 53 off of 30 not out. Syed Abdullah had a pretty good innings as well. He was the second top scorer with 32. Kenar Lewis out for 21. Chandrapal Hemraj looked like he was going to get going, but he was out for 14. Saad bin Zafar on 15. And then we mentioned Muhammad Usman Saeed out for 6. But 18 extras as well might come back to hurt the Manhattan Yorkers as they had trouble with the wides. 168 for 6. The target will be 169. And there's the bowling figures for the Yorkers. Not a whole heck of a lot to write home about, other than Nimish Baku, who, other than giving up a 6 on his final ball, 1 for 11. But the top bowlers, Arya Garg, who actually had a pretty good start, 2 for 28. Yasir Muhammad, 2 for 37. Raj Bafsar, 1 for 24. And then everybody else, Preet Shah gave up 14 in his 1 wicket. Very expensive for the Manhattan Yorkers. So, the New Jersey Somerset Cavaliers finished 168 for 6. The target for the Yorkers will be 169. It is doable on this pitch, but when you look at the bowling attack, you have Gajanan Singh, Najaf Shah, Junaid Nadir. It is going to be a tall task. And the Yorkers, well, Manhattan known for its skyscrapers. Will they be like King Kong and climb the Empire State Building, or will the Cavaliers pick up their 3rd victory? Those questions will be answered when we return on the other side of the break. You're watching the 2024 Minor League Cricket Championship presented by Yash Technologies here on the Minor League Cricket on the MLC Network. This one is hit in the air deep. Going back on it is the fielder. He is not going to get it. It has gone all the way for the first maximum of the innings. Off the bat ago. That one wrapped him on the pads, and that time he's gone. First wicket of the game, and it goes to Arya Garg. Trapping. Full toss, dispatched to the onside, and it will 2-hop over the rope for 4. And this one is cut away to the offside, and that one's going to get very close to the boundary and just lands in front of it for another 4. Here. And Haroon. Oh, there's a loud appeal, but the umpire is unmoved. But he turns around and sends this one out to the nether regions of Mercer County and ends with a 3rd boundary, does Syed Zafir. We're only allowed 2 players outside of that circle. And then outside of the power play, the rest of the match, you are allowed more players. I think it's up to 5. And Abdullah ends this with another single. 5 runs off of the over for Bob Sharp. Technical rule in cricket. And Syed Abdullah carts this one out over the covers and gone for his first 6 of the game. Bounced either in line with the batter or to the leg side. And speaking of which, that's where Abdullah goes and sends this one out to almost the same location that his last one went. Pitching to be powerful, but also be careful. And this one is taken downtown, and this one is going to end up towards Tent City. Another 6 Saturday morning, and this time he goes down the ground. There's a catch possible. And he just dropped it. Oh, goodness. In New Jersey, as Abdullah gets a little bit of air under this one, but it will go over everybody and clear for a massive 6. 16 runs, still looking for his first wicket. Cut away, and he's got it. Right into the hands of Arya Garg. And this one is hit down the ground, and this one will go for 6. 3 for 12. As this one is hit in the air, the catch, looking for the catch, but he'll run out of room, and Gajanan Singh has his 2nd maximum. Another full toss, and this one, a mistake, is absolutely punished. And Syed Abdullah is like Trogdor the Burninator. He is destroying the countryside here. His first over, bowling very well. But this time it's one is sent down the ground, and did he make that catch? He sure did. Janan Singh stands in against Yasir Muhammad and takes Yasir Muhammad downtown and says, let's take a stroll through the forest. And he hits another. How his innings goes. This one is sent deep and just to the left. And the fielder could only turn and watch that one sail over. Another one. This one goes through. And I think, well, he's walking, is Shimpy, and he is gone. Slowed down as it's under 8 now. Until that happens, that one is sent long and deep and gone for 6. Junaid Nadir, the 18th. And a good, solid shot for 4 off the bat of Gajanan Singh. Lewis as well. And this one is hit, and it's hit a little bit further. The fielder turns and watches this one sail over the tent. And Gajanan Singh, the innings. Hit deep. Does it have enough? It sure does. There is the half century for Gajanan Singh. It's an unbeaten 53. And the New Jersey Somerset Cavaliers end their 20 overs at 168 for 6.
Even the best in the business needs a strategic partner to help them win. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
You're watching the 2024 Minor League Cricket Championship presented by Yash Technologies.
పెయింట్ వేసింది చూడు 2 మ్యాచ్లు సేమ్ పిచ్ అంతా కలర్ పెయింటింగ్ అలానే ఉంది గుర్తుందా ఈ బంగ్లా కూడా ఇదే ఉంటున్నాయి మొత్తం ఎన్నో స్టార్లో వాటర్ బాల్ మోనకు రాదు తాగడానికి మరియు మొత్తం ఎంత గుంటలో చూసావా అంతే ఓకే ఓకే అరే తొందర కార్ తీసుకొని వెళ్ళు కొంచెం కార్ తీసుకొని హెల్మెట్ ఏమైంది బ్రో హెల్మెట్స్ ఒకసారి చూడు ఇది అదే ఇంకో వాటర్ బాటిల్ ఇది క్లీన్ చేస్తాను ఓకేనా ఇంకో వాటర్ బాటిల్ కావాలి గుడ్డ బ్రష్ రెండు క్లీన్ గుడ్డ బ్రష్ అదే
I'm back here at Mercer County Park in West Windsor Township, New Jersey for the Run Chase 2024 minor league cricket season presented by Ash Technologies. as the Manhattan Yorkers have a target of 169. 169 is what's needed. And we are just about set to get underway. Brian Barish here with you. Glad to have you along. Pranav Chetapaliyam and Dinesh Patel are the openers. For the men in purple and yellow, or blue, if you prefer. And the first ball is a good one in on Chetapaliyam. Najaf Shah, who is the key opening bowler. 30th game, 30 wickets, and has 3 3-fers, including back on September 1st. Oh, good ball. Just skips by the bat of Chetapaliyam. Took 2 in the first match between these two teams back on last Friday on August 30th, and then last Saturday 3 wickets against the NYC Titans. Good pace bowler. Intimidating run-up. And Chetapaliyam again went to just sort of defend more. So the asking rate coming in was about 9 and over, or actually about 8 and over. And as we said, you can kind of throw away everything you know from last season and the season before about how this pitch operates as you see the Manhattan Yorkers dugout. Deer will continue from the Edinburgh Road end. Again, a defensive shot. Great bowling by Najaf Shah. Chetapaliyam yesterday, 20 off of 21 before being caught off the bowling of Sidraham Sharma. Dinesh Patel, 35 for 35 before being bowled by Jonathan Fu, one of 3 victims by the Philadelphians captain en route to their victory. Shah continues. 5th ball of the over. Off the pads. Right into the gloves of Kenar Lewis. The wind whipping up here and just kind of keeping an eye. We're going to be keeping an eye on the weather for most of the day as we get in, as that one was actually given as a wide. So first blemish to Najaf Shah. Still 2 more balls to come. The wind is picking up. We think we'll be okay to get the game in. Rain is expected to arrive somewhere around 1:30 or so. And again, defended by Pranav Chetapaliyam. And if you're new to cricket, 5 overs from each team constitutes an official game. So all we have to do is get to the end of the 5th over, and we will have a result one way or the other. And if they don't complete it, we use a formula called the DLS, or Duckworth-Lewis-Stern method, to determine the winner. Got a nick, and it's caught by Kenar Lewis. I could hear that from here, and Shah finishes it with a wicket as Pranav Chetapaliyam edges to wicketkeeper Kenar Lewis. He goes for a 6-ball duck. And the Manhattan Yorkers are 1 for 1. Shah has been really putting Chattapalliam under pressure, just as he does the bowlers all season long. And there it is, a thick outside edge, a very audible snick. And back to the shed he goes, and held on competently by Kennard Lewis. At the end of the first, Manhattan chasing 169, or 1 for 1. So Yasser Muhammad will come in at number 3, and he will face Ghazi. Another paceman who will bowl from the dog park end. Great start. Kennard Lewis, that's his second catch behind Christopher Van Tol with 3 as Ghazi kicks things off. A bouncer, it's up in the air, and it's another one. 2 and 2 balls. And they had a man in the slips. And Dinesh Patel is gone on a golden duck. And the Yorkers in all sorts. After 7 balls, they're 1 for 2. This one was a bouncer. And he almost had to play at that one. And he got the perpendicular part of the bat on the ball, which didn't do him any favors. And right into the waiting hands of Gajanan Singh. 7 balls, and they have that 1 run was a wide. So Manhattan 1 for 2, and they still need 168 more to win. Comes Nurmith Shashidar, the wicketkeeper, as a helicopter comes screaming overhead. Maybe screaming's not the right word, but sauntering. Whatever it is that choppers do. This has been a very... the Cavaliers, I think, have... And I was just talking to one of the owners that... There it is. It's amazing the frame rate on this. It looks like it's the rotors are not moving very fast at all, but it is as Shashidar comes in. The Cavaliers have looked incredibly dangerous, and they had a very odd end of the season last year. I called the game against the Philadelphians last year what was supposed to have been was the final game of the regular season, and from all indications that was going to be it. They were going to miss the playoffs, and the reason why is because the Empire State Titans, as they were known then, ended up forfeiting their last 2 games of the season to the New England Eagles as Ghazi bowls to Shashidar. And he has to flick this one in, and another good ball. They still have not given up a run off the bat. So what happened was the Eagles essentially got 4 free points, and what that it did was effectively knock out the Cavaliers from the wild card playoff contention. But minor league cricket, in what an incredible show of fairness, I think, ended up admitting the Cavaliers into a wild card semifinal playoff against the New England Eagles. They beat them, then beat the New Jersey Stallions in the Super Over in the wild card final. One sails up and away, but a fair ball. Good bowling by Ghazi. Abdullah Ghazi. His second game of the season, having come into the lineup in the last one. Played for the DC Hawks as well. in 2021. Ball keeps low, keeps just outside, watched by Shashidar. 2 balls to come. 5 wickets in that first season with the DC Hawks. Took 2 last year during the regular season, 2 in the Super 8 phase, and took 1 in that final where they lost to the DC Hawks. Still looking for his first of this season, and this is his second game. Big appeal there. And again, they thought that they had an edge, but they didn't. And another dot ball. Oh, what a start this has been. In case you're just joining us, Pranav Chetapalliam was nicked to the keeper Kenora Lewis for a 6-ball duck, and then on the first ball of this over, Dinesh Patel edge to Singh, and another swipe, and this one behind the batter, so another wide. 2 runs by the Manhattan Yorkers, and neither one of them have come off the bat. As Najaf Shah gave up 1 on the 5th ball of his over. Final ball of the second over. Dabbed into the ground. What a good show by Ghazi, who gets a wicket, gives up a wide, but that's it. At the end of 2 overs, Manhattan are chasing a score of 169. They are 2 for 2.
It's an impossible shot.
Sometimes creativity and innovation are all it takes to achieve the impossible. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
Najaf Shah back into the attack from the Edinburgh Road end. Manhattan Yorkers, of course, you need 9.3 and over. In on the pads of Yasser Muhammad. Another good ball from Najaf Shah. Well, they had Philadelphia yesterday at 11 for 3 at the end of 3 overs. And it looked like very much like they were in control until Bhaskar Yadram came to the crease and dropped 67 not out on them and steered them to a victory with 8 balls remaining. And here, this might be a little bit more difficult of a task, especially with that guy bowling. Another dot ball. Yasser Muhammad. He's been with the Manhattan Yorkers. Also played with the New Jersey Somerset Cavaliers. In fact, played with them last year, going all the way to the final. 59 runs during the regular season, 21 during the 2 Super 8 matches that counted last year. Played away to the onside. Another good ball by Najaf Shah. And if this is how they're doing against pace bowling, I'm sure they would love to see how they go. As you see Gajanan Singh, the half century, unbeaten 53. Right now has helped put his team in a very, very good spot, but those 2 wickets that they have gotten have helped as well. Fourth ball of the over. In on the knees. He turns that one around, The return relay comes in across the wicket, but across the stumps. And another dot ball. And the only run that Shah has given up, in fact, nobody has had any runs off the bat. As we mentioned, Chattapalliam caught by Kenar Lewis behind for a 6-ball duck. Dinesh Patel caught by Gajanan Singh for a golden duck. See a couple of the subs for the Cavaliers. Very happy so far as they look to keep pace with the Philadelphians. If they do, they'll be tied with them at 3-1. Got him! Clean bowled! And Shah is smiling like a butcher's dog. He picks up his second wicket. He's 2 for 1, and the Yorkers now 2 for 3 in the third over. As this one comes in, oh my goodness, oh, that was filthy. And Yasser Muhammad doesn't know whether to cry or wind his watch. As the wind picks up here, the weather is blowing in, and so too are the New Jersey Somerset Cavaliers. So Muhammad goes a 5-ball duck for him, and the Yorkers 2 for 3. So, Raj Bhavsar will come in. And my goodness. So, one of the things, if you follow along, and it'll tell you that if you follow along with us and you would love to follow along with the statistical part, what we use, of course, is Crick Clubs. You can go to crickclubs.com/MILC to get live statistics during the course of these matches, and that's what we're following along with now. One thing that they've started doing this year is calculating the Duckworth-Lewis Stern par score. As that one is tapped to the offside, and that is a wicket maiden for Najaf Shah. Just to finish that thought, the par score right now 39, but at the end of 3, the Manhattan Yorkers, yes, that's right, they are 2 for 3.
Even the best in the business needs a strategic partner to help them win. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
Abdullah Ghazi will now continue from the dog park end against Shashidar. That one kept low. That's the Mercer Park wicket that we know and love. As the ball, yeah, that's acting exactly like it did last year. The further length of a ball it seems like it goes, it doesn't seem like you get a lot of pitch off the bounce. And Ghazi is happy, as you would be. And we're following along, by the way. There's a USA Cricket fans Discord channel. Thought that may have caught an edge, but Lewis is there to stop it. Another good ball by Ghazi. Again, still looking for it. But just to finish the thought, that the Discord channel, I want to give a shout out to Inuit24, who said that the Yorkers have showed up for a game of Duck, Duck, Goose. Love it. Love the chatter. It's such a great community, and especially during this minor league season. Call for a catch, but instead, those are going to be the first runs off the bat, as that one's going to run all the way down to the boundary and over the rope for 4. So it took 21 balls. But finally, they have runs off the bat here, and they're off the bat of Nirmath Shashidar. I just turned it to the onside, past the drawn-in infield. Najaf Shah giving chase, but the boundary wins. So 6 for 3, and that looks a lot better than 2 for 3. Still not great, Bob. You see Abdullah Ghazi. Bouncer, and that one I think may have plunked him on the helmet. He did take a swing at that. Shashidar did a pretty good job behind the stumps. Responsible for 2 wickets, catch by Syed Abdullah, and also picked up a very, very good stumping. Here it is again. Again, shortish ball. He swung and doink. Yep, right on the grill. That's why you wear your helmet, kids. Good ball by Abdullah. Abdullah Ghazi. 2 balls left in this 4th over. Again, the New Jersey Somerset Cavaliers posting totals, as you can see on the left-hand side of your screen, 168 for 6. Kanar Lewis on 21. Ajnan Singh with an unbeaten 53. Good ball once again, just by the edge of Shashidar's bat. So all Manhattan has to show for it is that 4 by Shashidar and 2 wides. And of the 23 legal deliveries, there have been 22 dot balls. Final ball of the 4th over. In the air, caught! Ghazi has his second. Oh my goodness, everything going their way. Shashidar played a defensive shot. It popped straight up in the air. Ghazi gets a wicket, caught and bowled his second, and they are 6 for 4. Just threw the bat forward. He was coming forward. He spikes it like a touchdown. And the clock on the wall for the Manhattan Yorkers, it's like the Chicago song, it's 25 or 6 to 4. Ghazi now 2 for 5 at the end of 4. The Manhattan Yorkers are 6 for 4. Dinesh Patel is the new man at the crease who will be at the non-striker's end. Raj Bhavsar stands in as Shah will continue. 2 for 1 from 2 overs. Ooh, what a performance this has been. Well, the run rate, the required rate, is over 10 now. This one's in the air. That's another one! Woo-hoo! Shah has his 3rd. And Manhattan are 6 for 5. Bhavsar at 2-ball duck. What on earth are we seeing here at Mercer Park? Here it is again. Just a Yorker length off the toe end, right to short mid-on. And Raj Bhavsar caught by Junaid Nadir. Manhattan are 6 for 5. Ooh. So Shah, and I'm just double checking the statistics just based on because I know he's bowled more. That he's been a part of this team for more than a couple of years, and well, here it is. It was going off of somebody else. His best bowling performance, he's taken a lot of threes, is 3 for 8. He's taken 3 for 19. He's never had a 4-fer, and he still has up to 11 more balls to go. As Bachu comes in. Bachu took a wicket and actually was the best bowler, not in statistically speaking, but at least in terms of how he bowled. He was 1 for 11, but he was 1 for 5 prior to a 6 by Gajanan Singh. And so, Nimish Bachu to face Najaf. Oh, I heard a noise. And off the gloves of Kennard Lewis. Oh. What a clinic we're seeing here. What a clinic by these two. And you knew it was going to be tough. I mean, this is a very tough Cavaliers team. And listen, the Yorkers, this batting is no slash by any stretch of the imagination. We know Dinesh Patel can put up numbers. We know Chattapalliam can, and Shashidar as well. But they have just not figured out what to do here. That one cut away to the onside, but right to a fielder. And when they are getting wood on the ball, the fielders, and it hasn't been often. I think they've only really hit of the, let's see, you take a peek inside the Yorkers tent, and some sullen faces over there. That is six for 5. That is not a score you see very often. It's also not a score really at any level, at least from what I've seen. But they haven't had a whole lot. They haven't gotten the bat too much on the ball here, especially from Shah. Looking for LBW, and again from here, I think it was a little leggy. Colin Edwards says nope, and then orders 2 pies. Shah, by the way, has a wicket maiden. Well, they can get out of this as we take a look at this one again. In the naked eye, it looked a little leggy, and yeah, it definitely did not make the impact. That was a full toss, but I think the way it was going, I don't think it either didn't hit in line or it would have kept going and would have missed leg stump. We have the benefit of replay. Those two men do not. 5th ball of the over from Najaf Shah. In the air, but again to a fielder. And again, another dot. The par score, by the way, right now, especially with the wind picking up and with rain in the area, or at least heading to our direction, by the way, the par score right now is 72. And the Cavaliers at this juncture of the game were 41 for 1. And one more ball, this will be an official game, and there won't be anywhere for the Yorkers to hide. And if I seem excited about this, it's more just the watching really good bowling, just a fantastic bowling performance. When you come to the ground, you never know what you're going to see. And that one, again, sails by, and I think Bachu just got a piece of it. A second wicket maiden, and did they go for the stump? I think they went for the stump afterward, but I think trying to pull a Johnny Bairstow, but I don't think anything will come from that. So a second wicket maiden for Najaf Shah. At the end of 5, the Manhattan Yorkers, believe it or not, are 6 for 5.
It's an impossible shot.
Sometimes creativity and innovation are all it takes to achieve the impossible. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
So we're going to see a new bowler for the And And it is going to be Raj Shimpy making his minor league cricket debut. He's played a lot in the Dallas area. Did he get it? No. He did. He absolutely did. And it's the Devils' number. They're 6 for 6 in the 6th. They've done it. Shimpy gets a wicket on his first ball. That's the second catch by Kenara Lewis. And they are 6 for 6. Yep. Oh, you could clearly see it. And that was not an easy catch. A one-hander by Kenara Lewis. Whew. Oh, my word. 6 for 6 after 5.1 overs. And we are looking at all sorts of history here as we head into the tail. And Preet Shah will come in. And it's worth mentioning, just in case you're just joining us, that now is the, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. That is the 5th duck. One more and you could sell it at Tim Hortons. Chetapalliam, 6 balls, no runs. Dinesh Patel, a golden duck. Yasser Muhammad, a 5-ball duck. All smiles in the Cavaliers tent. Shashidar is the only one who has runs off the bat. He had a 4. He was dismissed, caught and bowled by Ghazi, 4 for 11. As you see the ownership group for the New Jersey Somerset Cavaliers. Aslam Khan and Shakshay. And that one gets, and that one goes all the way. It'll be 4 byes, and Shimpy comes back. And, well, Manhattan have made it to double digits. They've made it to double digits through the side door, so to speak, as you, again, take a look at the ownership group. 10 runs, 10 for 6. 6 of those runs are extras, and that is the highest scorer right now, is the extras column. They've done a fantastic job, and it's worth mentioning the Cavaliers play in other competitions as well, such as the U.S. Open. And but they have done so well here. Shah dabs it down, and they're going to get a run here. 11 for 6. And so Shah, 5 of the 11 runs have come off the bat. So Shimpy gets amongst the wickets. He's 1 for 1 to go with Najaf Shah's 3 and Abdullah Ghazi's 2. As Bachu stands in, looking for his first run. Defends. Good ball by Shimpy. He said he's played a lot of his cricket in Texas. And getting a chance here with the New Jersey Somerset Cavaliers, who are, well, to say they're in good shape is an understatement. That one is laced to the offside. There's a 4. Well, they needed that. It's Bachu who gets off the mark on his 6th ball, lacing that one through long off for a boundary. They go to 15 for 6 with 1 ball left in the power play. And again, after the power play, the Cavaliers were 41 for 1. Final ball, or sorry, this will be the 5th ball of the over. Got him! He is bold. Just took the off stump. And Shimpy ends the over with his 2nd wicket. And The death knells are coming, and they're coming quickly for the Manhattan Yorkers. They're 15 for 7. Started way out and just caught and sent the off bail flying. Shimpy with 2 wickets, bookending 4 byes, 1, a dot, and 4. So he gives up 9 off the over. And we are looking at some historically low total here, but after the power play, yeah, that's right. The Manhattan Yorkers are 15 for 7. So unless somebody can correct me, and I know we've got Tim Lowell watching, and I know we've got a couple of the other statistical mavens watching us. I think the lowest, the Manhattan Yorkers have the lowest in history with that 38 not out against the Philadelphians on this ground a season ago. Shah will finish his bowling. This one is hit in the air. Oh, just over the outstretched arms of Junaid Nadir. And that will run all the way down to the boundary for 4 as Preet Shah gets off his first boundary. And Najaf Shah, who is 3 for 1 coming in, gives up his first boundary. 19 for 7. That game was played August 19th of 2023. The Philadelphians bowled out for 51. And then the Yorkers were held for 38 all out. Jonathan Fu, 4 for 1 that day. Big swing and good ball by Shah coming back from that. Five batters for the Yorkers have ducks. Shashidar 4, Bachu 4. They're both back in the tent. Preet Shah now the highest human scorer. That is that's Nimish Bachu's family over there. Amongst the no, it isn't. A couple of the spectators that are over here. Little bit of a delay. We mentioned coming up next at 2 o'clock, weather permitting, of course, we'll have the second half of our doubleheader. The Philadelphians will play the NYC Titans. As the Philadelphians All right, so it looks like we're going to have a change of bowling. As you see, Najaf Shah coming off with an injury. And hopefully for the Cavaliers, that's not anything terribly serious, especially when he is going off at 3 for 5. But it'll be Junaid Nadir who will come in and finish the over. So that's what the delay was. Looks like he may have pulled something. But here's Junaid Nadir. He pulls him. Well, the song remains the same, and Yash Kangura, who came in, is bowled for a spicy golden duck. And the Manhattan Yorkers are 19 for 8. Here it is again. And just, they cannot do anything with the pace. They have not figured out how to bat the pace off this wicket. And Yash Kangura is the 6th Yorker to go for a duck and the 2nd to go first ball. 19 for 8. And when you looked at that game last year where they were bowled out for 38, that was really just kind of, I think, the way the wicket was going. And obviously when two teams can only combine for 89 runs, then there's definitely, it's definitely trying to play what was really historically a tough wicket. You can't say that this year because, as we said, every game so far, the lowest first innings target has been 98, the first innings total has been 98. And here, of course, 168 for 6 as Arya Garg comes in at number 10. And now it's just a matter of respectability. I don't even remember the last time. I mean, unless he can get his bat on it, might be a 3-digit win. As that one sails by the off stump by Nadir. Again, completing the over started by Najaf Shah, who gave up a 4, a dot ball, and then left the game with an injury. And Nadir dab down to the offside, no run. Nadir usually, this is about when he starts bowling, is just after the power play. "35 years of age. Been around a long time." Swipe at that one by Arya Garg, and that ends the over. Another wicket falls. They give up 4. Nadir 1 for none from 4 balls, completing the over for his captain. 7 complete. The Manhattan Yorkers, chasing 169, are 19 for 8.
Even the best in the business needs a strategic partner to help them win. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
So the pace will continue as Raj Shimpi comes back and will continue from the dog park end. And watches that one, just feigning a shot at that. That is Kangura. It was Preet Shah who was bowled by Nadir, so my apologies on that. That is Yash Kangura. And he hits us one, but right to a fielder. Right on square leg. Shimpi continues. That one was up high, and they'll get a run off of this. That takes them to 20. So Kangura gets off the mark. 20 for 8. And at this point, the Cavaliers at the end of the 8th over were 66 for 2. So it was very interesting because, as we mentioned, 3 changes. One of them was Manuj Acharya, who was one of the 3 outs alongside Inchin Sharma and Dhruv Pawar. As we mentioned, Rav Bafshar is the captain for the Yorkers today. Oh, he wound up for that one, and it went in between his arms, the bat, and the wicket. Good ball by Shimpy. Been impressed with him. He's 2 for 6, and this is second over. First time we've seen him in minor league cricket, and I'll tell you what, the Cavaliers really stamping their hopes as that one is swiped behind, another wide. 21 for 8. And the extras column hasn't been terribly kind. 7 extras. That's just the third wide, however. They have 4 byes as well. Another swing, no contact. 1 ball to go. Shimpy had 4 byes. And just kind of went through everybody. Went through Kennard Lewis, and ball just kind of trickled down. And that's how they got to double digits. That's how the Yorkers got to 10. Another swing, and Shimpy going well. And Lewis, I think, was trying to get him back at the, I think was trying to peg the stumps. And Gar got in the way. Shimpy gives up 2 off the over at the end of 8 here at Mercer County Park. The Manhattan Yorkers are 21 for 8. Do you see Yash Kangura? And here is Junaid Nadir. How quickly can they get this over with? Or how long can the Yorkers hang on? Good bowling. This pace attack, and that's all they've bowled. All they've done is bowl pacers. Shah, 3 for 5 from 3.2 with 2 wicket maidens before he left the game with an injury. Abdullah Ghazi, 2 for 5. Ghazi, rather, 2 for 5. He still has 2 overs left. Shimpy, 2 for 7. He has 2 overs left. Defended by Kangura. And then Nadir will have 2 overs left after this one. The Yorkers will be done until next week when they'll play the NYC Titans. And that one is hit well, and this one will carry, and will hop over the rope for a 4. And so Yash Kangura gets his first boundary. And this one right on the stumps. And a good job of getting out in front of that one and turning that one to the onside. 25 for 8. Turns this one off the pads. Hey, 2 in a row where they pick up runs. And they get 2 more. It's been like a white elephant. It's been very hard to find. So 6 runs now, 27 for 8. That was only the 4th boundary of the innings for the Yorkers. Shashidar had 1, Bachu had 1, Preet Shah had 1, and now Kangura. in on the pads. Bounces away. Final ball upcoming. The highest over they've had was 9 off of Shimpy. 2 wickets, but 4 byes, a 4, and a single. But that's it. This has been the second most that they've had in an inning, in an over. Oh, just held out the bat, hoping to get some contact on it, and skips over. Nadir gives up 6 in his first full over of work at the end of 9, chasing 169. The Manhattan Yorkers are 27 for 8. Well, if the Yorkers thought they were out of the woods, they're not. And it's Gajanan Singh, who has a hat trick to his name so far this season against the NYC Titans last weekend, is going to come into the attack now. And perhaps a change of pace will be in to their favor, the Yorkers. Garg will face. Waited for that one, and that one just got by him. Ooh, flailed at that one, and there was a man behind in the slips, but it just got by him as well. He's able to keep it in front of him. Another good ball. Another good ball from Gajanan Singh. He is the 5th bowler that they've used. Oh, got by the fielder there. That was a misfield. And that is Garg's first run on his 10th ball. You see the run rate. Just under a half a run a ball, basically. That's when you're playing fractional cricket. That's how the ancient Greeks played. They played with fractions and algebra and all that other stuff. Wasn't as good for TV as this one is turned to the onside. We'll take another run as Kangura now goes to 8. 29 for 8 as the wind is picking up. No. Keeping an eye on the rain situation. We think we know we're going to get this game, and I think as this one goes through, and that ends the over. Gajanan Singh's first over goes for just 2. We're at the halfway point. Manhattan Yorkers, well, it's been a tough day at the office for them. They're 29 for 8 after 10. Saad Ben Safar will come into the attack now from the Edinburgh Road end, as now it's spin on both sides, and Kangura just got a piece of it. And it goes to the offside, but for no run. Wind at about 9 miles an hour, according to our readings, 17-mile-per-hour gusts. And it's starting to feel like Monday, where everything's kind of like just floating around now. And Gura thought about opening up and did. It's going to be close to the other side. And one of our tents almost went flying here in the commentary position as Kangura takes his 9th. He is now the top scorer. Definitely is getting more blustery. You could feel like something's starting to blow in. As we said, the forecast is somewhere in the 2 o'clock region is when the rain's supposed to start. That one is dabbed behind the wicket. They'll take one, and they will take a second easily. And the Yorkers are now up to 32, and they may avoid. No, it has gone for 4. Thank you. It has gone for 4, so now it's 34. So that is, in fact, 4 more buys. So Kangura stays on 9. It missed everything. That is the second set of buys that have gone for 4. 34 for 8. I think the magic number is 39 to avoid the lowest score. And that one is hit in the air, but it just dropped in front of the fielder. They come through for a single. 35 for 8. As Garg goes to 2, and Kangura, trying to get into double digits, will face the last ball of the 11th over. So Zafar has bowled well. Only 2 runs charged to him. Those buys not charged to him. I wonder if it's almost, I guess because it's kind of like a passed ball in baseball. Where it doesn't, it's not the fault necessarily, as opposed to a wild pitch, which would be the equivalent of a wide, essentially. That is charged, quote unquote, to the pitcher, whereas a pass ball is usually, I guess in a bye, it would be the catcher, or in this case, the wicket keeper's responsibility. The wind is blowing towards the commentary position, so away from Saad Zafar. Big swing, half-hearted appeal, but Colin Edwards says no thank you. 6 runs off the over for the Manhattan Yorkers. They have a long way to go. They're chasing 169. They have 9 overs to play. They're 35 for 8. Gajanan Singh continues from the dog park end. Another run, and the Manhattan Yorkers, I think, they're in a better position now. 36 for 8, as we mentioned. The lowest score in competition history, as far as we could tell, was 38, where they had 2 years ago, or last year, beg your pardon, against the Philadelphians. And they were in all sorts, and we'll take a look at the fall wickets in a moment. As Singh continues. Watches that one sail wide. It's another wide, and 37 for 8. That is just the first wide by Gajanan Singh. Only 4, but most of the extras, in fact, 8 of them have come off of buys. hit well to the onside, and they now are on level pegging with their lowest score. As you see, Stephen Kotwaru, who is one of the subs, in fact, I believe he's in for Syed Najaf Shah, who left in the middle of his fourth over with a twinge. Good ball by Gajanan Singh. Love watching him. We mentioned Guyanese born in that Team USA program. Of course, they have a series coming up against Namibia. Be interesting to see if he's in the mix for that. Gives himself some room, does Arya Garg. Cuts that away. They'll take a run, and they're on to 39. No, they're not. I thought they would be. See members of the NYC Titans getting ready for their game against the Philadelphians. So Shah just gives up the 2 runs in that over. And at the end of 12, Manhattan Yorkers on 38 for 8.
It's an impossible shot.
Sometimes creativity and innovation are all it takes to achieve the impossible. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
Saad bin Safar will continue from the Edinburgh Road end. Canadian international, 37 years of age. Captain of the Canadian team. And that's one of these where, you look at the score line and you see, again, just to repeat, the Yorkers at one point were 6 for 6 in the 6th over. And you think, well, it's maybe just a selective minefield. And then you stare down the other end of the crease, and there's the captain of the Canadian national team. Hit in the air, cries for catch, but it was just over the drawn-in infield. And now Kangura has brought up 39 runs, so they have beaten their lowest total. And you have to give a fair bit of credit to these guys at the bottom of the order, and Arya Garg and Yash Kangura, who really were up against it here. And as I said, on a day when you've just seen a dominant bowling performance by the New Jersey Somerset Cavaliers. And that one just caught a top edge. It goes behind, and that's going to roll all the way to the boundary for 4. And so, well, it's going to be close. I thought that was all the way at the boundary, but it has, yes, thank you. The way they were running, that's what threw me off, the way they were running, but it is 4 off the bat of Arya Garg, who now goes to 7. This partnership of 24 runs, and we're talking about the fall of wicket, and we'll talk about that when we come back at the end of this over, as Saad finishes off the over with one in on the hands of Garg. And that ends the over. Zafar, none for 7 after 2, and the Manhattan Yorkers after 13 are 43 for 8. Singh continuing from the dog park end. Over number 14 as we do a quick recap of the fall of wickets here. Steps forward and drives this one down the ground for a run. Kangura goes to 12. Chetapaliam caught by Kenora Lewis on the last ball of the first over, 1 for 1. That was a 6-ball duck. Then on the next ball, Dinesh Patel caught by Gajanan Singh in the slips for a golden duck. As Garg gives himself some room but makes no contact. Then Yasser Muhammad, he went for a 5-ball duck when he was bowled by Najaf Shah. They were 3 for 2 in the third over. Then Shashidar, after getting a 4, the first runs off the bat, he was dismissed 6 for 4 after he was caught and bowled by Ghazi. That one on the pads. Another good ball from Singh as Kenora Lewis was trying for the stumping attempt there. He has had a stumping. Or no, I'm sorry. Hasn't had a stumping. He's had a couple of catches. Bafsar went. He was the next to go again on the very next ball, the beginning of the 5th over. And they were 6 for 5. That one is dabbed down to the offside, but not far enough to score. Garg able to get back. Then Deep Patel got out on the first ball of the 6th over, and they were 6 for 6. Patel caught by Lewis. That was a very, very awkward-looking flail by Garg, and 1 ball remains. Still 44 for 8. So then Nimish Bachu, that was a partnership of 9 before he was bowled by Shimpy, and then Preet Shah was bowled by Junaid Nadir on his very first ball. Good job by Singh once again. Another low total. He gives up just 1. He has given up just 6 runs from his 3 overs, and it's almost to the point of mathematically safe. 14 overs complete, chasing 169. The Manhattan Yorkers 44 for 8. So Viraj Desai will come in, and Kangura says, why not? Let's try a scoop shot. But Desai does a good job there. His 3rd innings of bowling. He has 3 wickets so far. A good ball once again. Take a quick look for you at some of the other matches happening today around the grounds in just a moment or two. Again, gets this one to the offside, and again, no run. And they haven't figured it out. And again, we've mentioned how a lot of teams have managed to, they generally will have 6 or 7 bowlers. We've seen the occasional where they've only had 5. There's a reverse sweep, and really more of a reverse dink behind all the way to fine leg, and Katwaru comes around, the sub fielder. So Kangura goes to 13. He is the leading scorer. And just ahead of the extras column, 12 extras. As you see Desai coming in. And he bowls him. And that is the end of Arya Garg, who was part of a very, very defiant stand. He faced 28 balls, did Arya Garg, and this was a big, big look at the way that ball pitched. That thing must have pitched about a good 3 feet and takes out the bail on the leg side. Desai has his first. He's 1 for 1. And the Manhattan Yorkers are 45 for 9 and 1 wicket away from completion. And it will be Ruchir Joshi who will come to the strike. So that partnership ends. And is the largest partnership so far of 26 runs and has accounted for more than half of the overs, of the runs, as Joshi comes out. So Desai has a wicket. And Garg, as we mentioned, with 7. Kangura, the only human player with 13. We mentioned 12 in the extras, is running second. That's it. That's been the story. But you know, it's good, as we mentioned. Fair play to Garg and to Kangura for really just staying in and making sure this, you know, it wasn't a total capitulation. Garg standing in there for 28 deliveries. So here is Desai to finish to Joshi. And it's been given as a wide, and so he'll see another ball before this over comes to an end. 46 for 9 now. Went down as that one went in between the bat, the legs, and the stumps. And that ends the over. 2 runs off of Desai. He does take the wicket of Arya Garg. The Cavaliers are 1 wicket away from putting this one to bed. At the end of 15, the Yorkers are 46 for 9. Gajanan Singh will come in for his final over. None for 6 so far. And a shot with authority to the onside. Fielded it long on. Kangura been the only offensive bright spot for the Yorkers. 14 off of 23. Not a bad bowling performance. Garg 2 for 28. Yasser Muhammad 2 off of 37. It was very, very, very rough. Very expensive. But we always appreciate the effort from everybody, and especially as somebody who's... These guys have played more than me. We'll leave it at that as Joshi gets off the mark on his second delivery. 48 for 9. Now the question is, can the Yorkers keep this to a 3-digit, under a 3-digit deficit? Well, that's going to help, except there is Syed Muhammad, who will watch this one go over the head, and it's a 6, and that is the first of the innings in the 16th over. It is off the bat of Yash Kangura, and that moves him to 20, and he says, I am a fighter, and I don't care what the scoreboard says. I'm here to play, and I'm going to do my best until this game comes to an end. Which it almost did right there as he went down. That's going to be very close on the run out, but Joshi was able to get back. And Kangura adds a leg by. 55 for 9. Now here's Joshi, 5th ball of the over. Ooh, good spin by Singh. Tell you what, these guys, it amazes me the amount of turn they put on the ball. Actually, we saw that delivery that dismissed Vargas. That one is hit in the air, and that one is going to go all the way as well. So Joshi says, I'll get in on the boundaries too, as he pokes a 4 through the onside to end this over. Maybe got out in front of that a little bit too much, but he hit it solidly. And that one goes all the way to the boundary for 4 to end that 16th over. And the Yorkers still staying alive. 4 to go. They're 59 for 9. Well, here's Viraj Desai now. If they want any chance here, and I wonder if Kangura is going to play a little bit more freely. Only cuts this one away. They have one. Kangura wanted 2 to keep the strike, but he won't get it. 21 now for him, and the Yorkers have brought up 60, which was something that the Cavaliers did in their 8th over. And it happens to the Yorkers here in the 17th as this one spins away from Joshi, who takes a swing at it and misses. And again, just got a piece to it, and that one will trickle all the way to and over the boundary for 4. In fact, it didn't, but they will run for 3. So the ones where I didn't think was a boundary were a boundary, and the one I did think was a boundary wasn't a boundary. It's been one of those days. 64 for 9. No, 63 for 9. That was a dot ball before, so 63 for 9. Oh, and this one is hit. And this one is hit well, and that's a 6. So he said Yash Kangura probably would want to get on with things if his team wanted to have a chance. It might be a bridge too far, but he says, why not? Let's party. And he powers this one to the onside. 69 for 9, and so it will not be a 3-digit victory for the Cavaliers, and so that is a moral victory, as they have sent a search party down to the other side of the hill. In fact, that is Shimpy who's down there. And I think it may have gone into the brambles as opposed to the guy who is the wicket keeper for the Golden State Grizzlies these days. So Desai has given up 10 in this over, and Kangura now 27 off of 27. He has the only 2 sixes of this innings for the Yorkers. 30 runs and over required, so that means that they have determined that ball belongs to nature now. It will go and sprout many, many cricket ball trees. It should anyway. Imagine if they had seeds in them, then they sprouted like cricket ball trees. That would be cool. But anyway, 2 balls left in this Desai over, the 17th. And we said we were going to tell you very quickly some of the other matches. Of course, this is the first of 2 that we'll have for you. The Philadelphians and New York Titans are coming up, and we're trying to get an idea as far as what the radar looks like, because there is rain imminent. And I think in the next hour or so, we are going to get that system that's passing through. Maybe looking at about 3:30, so we'll see how much of the next game we get in. The Lone Star Athletics and Houston Hurricanes, the report that we had from Tim Lowell was that game has been postponed because of the weather over the last couple of days because of a wet outfield. Kangura goes down the ground and will score another run. He'll take him to 28. That brings up 70 for the Manhattan Yorkers, and that looked like the moon when they were sitting at 6 for 6 in the 6th over. And they've done a fantastic job of recovering. The tail has, anyway. And that one, well, we'll have to see what that hit, whether it was the pad or the bat. And it did, in fact, hit the bat of Ruchir Joshi, who now goes on to 9. Good over from the Manhattan Yorkers. Might be in vain, but they are still fighting. They are here after 17, chasing 169. They need 98 to win off of 18 balls. They're 71 for 9. Saad bin Zayed comes into the attack. Zafar, beg your pardon. Saad bin Zafar comes into the attack. And that will do it as he bowls Ruchir Joshi, and that brings the defense and the defiance and the resistance and all that other stuff to an end. And the New Jersey Somerset Cavaliers, a comprehensive victory as bin Zafar picks up his first wicket. He will finish at 1 for 7, and the New Jersey Somerset Cavaliers are winners here by 97 runs. An absolutely thorough victory by the Cavaliers. Spare a thought for the Yorkers, especially the tail, as Yash Kangura will end up the top scorer and the only one left unscathed. 28 from 28 not out, but 5 ducks. Chattapalliam, Dinesh Patel, Yasir Muhammad. Nirmit Shashidhar was the first man to get a run off the bat. They had a couple of extras, and they also had a couple of buys in there. But Raj Basar, who was the captain today with Manoj Acharya out, and Deep Patel as well, none of them could trouble the scorers. Nimis Bachu with 4, Preet Shah before he was bowled by Nadir. And there is a look. As you look at that fall of wickets, they were 6 for 6 at one point, but they get, 52 runs for the final 2 wickets. Great bowling numbers. Najaf Shah, 3 for 5 with 2 wicket maidens. He was your pick of the bowlers. Abdullah Ghazi, 2 for 5. Rishi Shimpi, 2 for 7 on debut. Junaid Nadir, 1 for 6 for just under 2 overs. Saad bin Zafar, 1 for 7. Viraj Desai, 1 for 14. Gajanan Singh, oddly enough, the only one to not get amongst the wickets. None for 18, but hey, when you can give up just 4.5 and over, that's not bad. Here's a look at the match summary. That is the story. Gajanan Singh, an unbeaten 53 half-century. That really set the pace alongside Syed Abdullah's 32. Kanar Lewis played well with 21. Arya Garg bowled pretty well, 2 for 28. Yasir Muhammad picked up a couple of wickets. Bachu really the best, I think, in terms of performance, the most economical. He was 1 for 11. But then on the other side, it was quick, fast, and in a hurry for the Yorkers. And as he said, that it looked very, very ugly as they found themselves, as again, 6 for 6 in the 6th over, just not in the power play. In fact, they lost that 7th wicket pretty quickly, and it looked like it was going to be a historic margin. But the Yorkers, again, to their credit, through Kangura, through Joshi and Garg at the end, were able to make a match of it. And in the end, the Cavaliers, the victory margin is 97 runs. So the Cavs now, they join the Philadelphians with 6 points. They go to a record of 3-1. And with the New Jersey Stallions on 4 points, they have 2 games in hand. And the Cavaliers, we play one more game tomorrow, as the Yorkers now, they drop to 1-3, and their playoff possibilities are darkening somewhat, much like we expect the skies to here in Mercer County over the next couple of hours. So once again, the New Jersey Somerset Cavaliers winners by 97. Don't go anywhere, folks, because we will have another game you can hear on the MLC Network in roughly about an hour's time. In fact, 45 minutes or so is when the Philadelphians will take on the NYC Titans. We hope you'll stick around and join us. If you will, we'll see you then. If not, we thank you so much for joining us, for Mohsen and for Umair and for everyone else who's brought to you today's game from a blustery Mercer County. This is Brian Barish saying so long for now. And the first ball is a good one in on Chettapallium. Got a nick, and it's caught by Kennar Lewis. Kicks things off. A bouncer, it's up in the air, and it's another one. 2 and 2 balls. Got him. Clean bowled. Season. Call for a catch, but instead, those are going to be the first runs off the bat, as that one's going to run all the way down to the boundary and over the rope for 4. In the air, caught! Guzzi has his second. This one's in the air. That's another one. Woo-hoo! Shaw has his third on the ball here, especially from Shaw. Looking for LBW, and again from here, I think it was a little leggy. Dallas area. Did he get it? No. He did. He absolutely. Good shape is an understatement. That one is laced to the offside. There's a 4. Well, they needed that. It's Bachu who gets off the mark on his 6th. This will be the 5th ball of the over. Got him! He is bowled. Just Shaw will finish his bowling. This one is hit in the air. Oh, just over the outstretched arms of Junaid Nadir. And now Nadir. He pulls him. Well, the song remains the same, and Yash Kangura, who came in, and that one is hit well, and this one will carry, and will hop over the rope for a 4. And that one just caught a top edge. It goes behind, and that's going to roll all the way to the boundary for 4. As you see Desai coming in. And he bowls him. And that is the end of Arya Garg, who under a 3-digit deficit. Well, that's going to help, except there is Syed Muhammad, who will watch this one go over the head, and it's a 6, and that is the first of the inning. That delivery that dismissed Vargas. That one is hit in the air, and that one is going to go all the way as well. So Joshi says, I'll get... and this one is hit. And this one is hit well, and that's a 6. So he's... Safar, beg your pardon. Sideman Safar comes into the attack. And that will do it as he bowls Ruchir Joshi, and that brings...
Even the best in the business needs a strategic partner to help them win. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
You're watching the 2024 Minor League Cricket Championship presented by Yash Technologies.